Right, hello. So we're here with Jason Wilkinson. So Jason has just completed his program. I think in the end it was about sort of 14, 16 weeks. And during that time, Jason's lost a couple of stones. So he's just going to sort of talk through with us and just sort of explain how he got on in the program. So Jason, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so Jason, I'm quite a busy IT person. I look after IT. I do property development and investment. I say quite busy, but generally busy 3, maybe 4 days a week. So I had some time on my hands to improve my lifestyle and exercise. And I was just looking for someone to help me along with that program, really. And that's when I found Chris.
Awesome. So what was life like before we started talking together in terms of how you felt, in terms of your health, your fitness?
Yeah, well, generally, I was going to the gym occasionally, no real motivation. I would binge diet, so I'd do an Atkins diet for maybe 2 months and lose some weight. And then within another 3 or 4 months, I'd put the weight back on. So no real system in place and just sort of yo-yoing. I've been doing that for a few years, and over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, the weight was creeping up and creeping up. Every time I got to a higher weight, I got to sort of 22 stone Christmas time, and that was when I decided that it was time to make a bit of a change.
So every time you lost some, but then it would go back higher.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd that make you feel then when you were doing that?
Yeah, it didn't make me feel too bad, but the doctor kept badgering because of my weight and pre-diabetes, obviously slightly higher blood pressure, and their health concerns. So yeah, I realised that it was time to try and get the weight down on a permanent basis rather than very temporary.
That makes sense. And I know, like we've said before, you're not a finished product here. There's still work to do. It was never going to be sort of a 12 weeks and fix everything. But in terms of how you feel now, how do you feel now you've gone through the programming yourself?
Yeah, I feel great. It's a working program. We've been doing it for over 3 months, slowly putting things into place, making slow changes, but they're permanent changes. So the way I'm eating, the way I'm exercising, it fits in with my lifestyle completely, and it works. It's not difficult. Whereas before, trying to do the Atkins and the family eating at the same time is always different meals. Whereas now we generally eat the same meals or just have slightly different changes. It fits in with our lifestyle really well, and it suits me, and I can see myself carrying on.
Do you feel like it's a diet, or does it just feel like it's just
No, it's a complete lifestyle, but it's a sensible lifestyle. It's not like dramatic changes. We made small changes across the last 3 or 4 months, and those changes can be permanent. There's no reason. I haven't really cut anything out. I still enjoy a drink. I still go out with the lads, but I know as long as I achieve what I want to achieve across 5 or 6 days of the week, then the other day or two isn't a problem. Just been to Gibraltar for 4 days, didn't feel bad about doing anything or eating out or having meals out or having a good drink with friends out there, and now I'm back this week, back onto the routine.
Sounds good. What's the plan like, in terms of life? What's life look like for you now?
Yeah, it's good. It's getting better. Everything's getting better. I feel healthier. I know that I can potentially in the next 6 to 9 months get back down to probably my lowest weight that I've been for the last probably 10 years. So yeah, looking really good. Been out and bought a new bike, so I got an electric bike. Started riding that to the main place I do work. So I work for generally one company 2 or 3 times a week. I ride there now rather than drive a car. We're going to get rid of the car and go down to like one car for the family. So the extra exercise, it's just as quick as driving. I use the bike for shopping, various other different things. So yeah, it's a great change.
So it sounds to me like a smart lifestyle change as opposed to sort of trying to shoehorn something in.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've had the bike now for 3 or 4 weeks, so that's another sensible change. But yeah, so I can see myself riding a lot more. I know it's electrical assisted, but most of the time I'm on the bike. It's full pedal power. It's above the UK specification. So once it hits 15.5 miles an hour, I'm pedal power completely.
All back on you.
It's just like riding on the flat. So the electric only kicks in when I'm first starting off or going uphill. So it's a good system.
And I think going forward, you can adjust that, can't you? I imagine, I don't know much about electric bikes, but I imagine you can change that and adjust that assistance.
Yeah, we have a low, medium, high, and power assistance. I generally ride on medium at the moment, but there's no reason that we couldn't sort of move that down to low. I can feel my leg muscles improving. So every time I go on it, I feel sort of fitter and stronger in the legs, which is good because as we had an injury, changed some of the exercise, picked up a little bit of a knee injury. So this is a lot lower intensity than doing the step ups and things I was doing with my knees before. So that's good for the legs.
Awesome. And do you feel like you've got the tools, the strategies, the mindset, everything that you need to keep going with this?
Yeah, definitely. Every little bit of coaching that we've done, each part is a good element. It gives you the reasoning behind what we're doing and the motivation to keep at it. So yeah, I'm going to go back and look over all of those. But pretty much the changes we made were sensible, small changes, and they now most of them are becoming habit. So yeah, it's great.
That's the thing. It's not rocket science, is it? It's just the simple things, but it's doing them smart. It's doing it properly, isn't it? Rather than, like you say, it's not drastic. It doesn't feel like it's drastic.
No, small changes as we went. And like anyone knows, you know, make small changes, do it across 3 or 4 months, it becomes habit. And that's where we're getting now. The dog's enjoying the walking more. So yeah, all those little things that we've put in place. I know my system won't necessarily work for everybody, but making these small changes and finding something that works for you is the way ahead. So yeah, 5 or 6 things that we've changed is great.
And that's the thing, it's that compound effect. But like you say, it's finding a routine that works for you. And everyone's a little bit different, aren't they? So there is a bit of trial and error. But I suppose once you find it and it works, consistency.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the benefit of using a coach like yourself, is that you can work those things out. You've got many more ideas and things for diet, exercise, routine changes. You've got those ideas to encourage people. So yeah, I found that really useful working with you to find the right things for me, and it's obviously proven right.
Was there a specific turning point? Anything that stood out to you?
I wouldn't say so, but just the slow, steady changes that made it habit. I think the system that you use of looking for those small changes each week, and adding a little bit of exercise or finding something with the diet to change. It's nothing dramatic, no big change, but those small changes across a period of time is what's made it easy. It's just making little changes.
And I think I said at the start, I think over the I think it has worked out about 16 weeks due to circumstance. But I think over that time, you've lost a couple of stone. And you mentioned the measurement we take around sort of the midriff, around the belly button. How much have you lost off there?
Yeah, so it's just under 5 inches. So like I was saying before, the jeans are hanging off me. I have 4 belt holes difference. I'm wearing jeans that I probably haven't worn for a couple of years. They've been sitting in a wardrobe on a hanger or folded up, and even those now are just sort of hanging off me. So it's it's a massive change.
I'm going to cost you a fortune in new clothes.
Well, there's probably going to be some new clothes shopping for the cruise. So
that sounds good to me.
Yeah, November time. Yeah.
What would you, if someone's watching this and they're sort of on the fence, they're not sure, what would you say to them about sort of having a chat and getting in touch if they were interested in sort of doing some work? What's the advice you'd give to them?
Yeah, definitely have that conversation. The way Chris works with you, just weekly phone calls, and like I say, making those small changes. It is really worth speaking to someone, a coach. I've used coaches in other elements of business and things, and other people definitely have better ideas and different strategies. So it's definitely worth speaking to Chris about the strategies and the systems that he can use, and seriously consider taking one as a coach. It's worked for me, and I'm sure it would work for other people.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Anything else we've not covered, or happy with all of that?
No, I'm pretty much happy with that. The before and after photos and the measurements show what's happened, and like I say, it's a system that will work for me. I'm planning on using it and hardly changing it over the next 6 months. The next 6 months I'll make it habit. And then if I can lose the next 3 stone I want to lose, then I think after that, then I'll probably be looking at a new strategy, maybe looking at more muscle building, different fitness levels. But the system I've got at the moment is great for the next 6 months.
Well, let's think about that then in terms of the next 6 months. Let's run with it. Let's see what happens. And it'd be good to catch up in the future, see how you're getting on, see how much of a different man you look. But I think sort of just summarizing what you've said here, obviously it is small changes. It's about finding a routine. And I know that obviously it's not rocket science, but there are some smarter ways of doing things, and I've sort of introduced that. But the main thing is that you've done the work, you were invested, you wanted to make that change, and you've gone out and done it. You've got out of your comfort zone, in terms of speaking to me, but in terms of then the work you've gone and done. So I think you've got to give yourself a lot of credit as well.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. It's exactly what I wanted, and it's moved me in the right direction. So yeah, thank you very much. It's helped massively.
No, you're welcome, mate. It's been a pleasure. Right, and we'll leave it there, Jason. Thank you very much.
Nice one, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah.